Hey everybody, it's Jim here, and I couldn't think of a better time to post today's video than right now, since at the time of filming, NAMM is next week. We're going to be seeing all sorts of new guitar releases, refreshes, updated pickups, electronics, hardware, and everything else under the sun that's going to tempt us into buying something new, because that's the whole point of this now, isn't it? Today we're going to be going over some ways that you can fight against that gas by making a guitar that you already have as good as it can possibly be, and perhaps breathe some new life into it with some tools and some other supplies that won't run you a whole lot of money, but they're well worth it. Today we're going to be using my Fender American Vintage 65 Jazzmaster. As it stands, that guitar is in desperate need of some tender love and care, so this is a perfect opportunity to both show you guys how I go about doing things and for this guitar to get some new life breathed into it. So let's get started. First, I'm going to show you the tools that we're going to be using for today, starting off with the frettilizer stuff. This one is the fret shaper. It allows me to check the levelness of each fret, and if there's anything that is a little bit high, I can address that individual fret because there's a little groove on the bottom here to make it in line with the rest of them, and that way I don't have to level the entire fingerboard. That's a big plus in my book, as well as the fret polishing system from them. This is not a sponsored video, I just genuinely love using this stuff. Allows me to individually do each fret varying grits and get a perfect shine on it with no mess or goo from other products. The micro mesh pads are being used for that. String action gauge, guys, you got to be using something like this to at least get a ballpark to know what you like. And also, if you're trying to shoot for factory settings, especially on pickup heights, people skip that a lot. That's a really good tool for that. And finally, outside of just the normal stuff like the peg winder, Big Ben's nut sauce clippers, and a screwdriver, this is our hidden gem for today. This is a Hosco truss rod wrench, and if you're somebody who has a vintage style Fender instrument and you don't have one of these, you definitely want to pick one of these up. I'm going to be showing you why. Last but not least, we'll be oiling the fingerboard with our F1 oil and trying out a new set of string joist strings. These are the 10 through 48 orbiters. Before I filmed today, I cleaned up the electronics, make sure all the grounding was good, there's no excess noise, as well as I swapped out the pickups. This now has a set of Lawler 63s in it. Other mods to the guitar, I have the stay trem arm and the collet, as well as the stay trem bridge. You want to make sure if you're going to go with the stay trem, or any bridge for that matter, you get a radius that is going to match the fingerboard. That's always ideal. But one thing that I did do also before we get started today, while I had the strings still on, I adjusted the actual truss rod, and I used a Hosco Japan truss rod wrench to do it. The reason why I love this thing so much, you remove the pick guard, and all you have to do, you don't have to remove the neck. These slots right here go right into the bottom. So you just tighten or loosen to your heart's content. On a Jazzmaster, it's a little bit harder to do this with the strings on, just because, you know, you're having to pull things up a little bit and everything's really connected. But on a guitar like a Telecaster, this thing is an absolute lifesaver. You can make super fast adjustments without having to do anything other than just remove the pickguard by itself, because on vintage style Teles, you're not going to have any of the screws mounting the neck pickup into it, and you're done on the fly. Absolutely recommend one of these things. I think they run you about 10 bucks. These frets have no divots or pitting in them, but I just do want to check real quick how level they are. They should be pretty good, because I had this guitar plecked not too long ago. At least it doesn't feel like it. But it's important to do this because all it takes is one high fret to really butcher or really limit how well you can set this thing up to your own liking. And introducing string buzz and stuff like that is not cool, especially for somebody who likes to play with a lower action. The better the fretwork on your guitar is, the lower action you're going to be able to achieve. When it comes to fret polishing, you have a lot of options here. You can use fret knot, you can use frine, you can use gorgamite, you can use fret erasers. But for me, after making a comparison video of all those products, you can click up here if you want to watch it, specifically all about fret polishing, I end up using the frettilizer the most, because to me, it does the most efficient and effective job. Before I start polishing the frets, I am going to put this cloth right over the pickups. Can never be too safe. We're going to start with 800 grit. Now you can see right now how they look, and we'll see how they look after. Look at the difference between this fret that we just polished and the one right next to it that's not polished. I'm moving the guitar so you don't think it's a lighting trick. Doesn't matter where I put it, you're going to see that shine no matter what compared to the dullness. And that only took, about a minute or two to get done per fret. We're going to run through, do the rest of them because there's no point in filming each and every one. And I'll see you in a minute. All right, frets are looking great. We're going to go ahead and put these strings on. These are the orbiters. These are coated. One of the reasons I chose these is a problem that I was having with this guitar. Not necessarily a problem, but a preference. I like having a little less tension, and even though I typically do use 10 through 46, depending on the string, I noticed that the tension varies from brand. When I tried the string joy set on the Tokai T-Style, I was amazed at how good they felt. So we're going to go ahead and try these orbiters on the Jazzmaster and see if that can help a little bit as well, because we are going to tune this thing up to standard. A little bit of Big Ben's nut sauce in the slot. This is vital for any guitar, especially vital for a guitar that uses a vibrato system. Now, the important thing is to maintain enough break angle coming off of the bridge right here into the vibrato unit itself. If this was docked, you're not going to get enough break angle. So it's something really important when it comes to offset guitars. All right, let's try again. Still not fretting out. Still a little high. I can get a little bit lower. I think that's going to be as low as I can get it though. 12th fret, we're about 1.8. One 1.5, 1.4 millimeters at the other end. Okay. I can live with that. So now, what I'm going to do is, final most important thing. We're going to stretch the strings. Apply pressure. Pull. Now I'm going to go do this a few separate times per string. You're going to hear all sorts of weird noises. That's normal. Breaking a string in makes a big difference to tuning stability. Properly setting your intonation is absolutely vital to having your guitar play as well as it possibly can, as well as being able to use it in a professional environment, whether you're recording or you're out playing with a band. The proper way to do it is to sit with the guitar in a playing position. As you can see here, I have the guitar sitting upwards, and then go against the tuner. At the 12th fret, if it's a little bit flat or it's a little bit sharp, you're going to move the saddle for that particular string accordingly. Perfect. Getting the correct height on your pickups is vital to getting the best possible sound out of them. There's often times where some people might not love a pickup without even trying to adjust it, and they'll buy a whole new set when all it really took was a few tweaks from a screwdriver to adjust the heights just a little bit. There's a lot of factory recommendations and specifications that you can find resources for online as a starting point, and then you can tweak from there to find a sound that really works for you. We're all done and the guitar feels great. All of this was well worth the effort. I do want to make one comment about a specific product that we did use in today's video, because it was something that really was kind of bothering me when I would switch back and forth between this Jazzmaster and Fender Jaguars. One of the main reasons I think I prefer the Fender Jaguar in general to the Jazzmaster is because of the scale length and the string tension that comes along with it. It's a little bit looser, I feel a little bit more comfortable on it, and then when I switch back to this guitar, which has the full 25.5-inch scale length, just feels a little bit more tense to me. The Stringjoy 10-48 Orbiter set, these feel like 9s on this guitar, and I'm not sure how they do it, but it feels so good to play now, and I'm inspired between the brand new polished frets, the new strings, great setup as far as having the electronics dialed in the way I want, and quality electronics. I mean, I got a new set of Lollers in here. That's freaking awesome if you ask me. This is awesome. So I would recommend to any of you guys, if you're on the fence and you have a guitar that needs some attention, do all this stuff first. It'll cost you less than a new pedal will cost you, and might save you thousands of dollars from buying a guitar that you don't need. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or perhaps ideas for future videos that you would like to see me go over, let me know in the comments section down below. But otherwise, I appreciate and thank you all for watching today's video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.